Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the Compassionate, the Merciful. In last session, we discussed about marriage. We said the marriage is a very important step in our life. Islam encourages us, like many other religions, to marry. We read some narrations and some verses of Quran, that Quran loves those people that they marry and encourages us for the marriage. At the same time, we said we should know the responsibility for the marriage, and before the marriage, we should know our reason for the marriage. If we want to bring an example, we can say to go to university to get a master's degree or PhD is very, very important step in our life. But if we want to go to university, we should know that what is our goal? What is our motive for going to university? Because, of course, to get the bachelor degree, master's degree, PhD is wonderful, but definitely you are going to suffer a lot. You have to spend thousands of dollars. You have to give your time, your energy, and be patient to go to different exams. Emotionally suffer until you will be able to get a degree. If you do not have good goal or good reason for suffering, definitely after one term or two terms, after 1 year or 2 years, you leave university. Because you say, it is much easier for me to be at home. It is much better for me to go and make money. In university, at the moment, I cannot make money. If a person has a good reason for going to university and he asks himself, what I'm going to achieve from university, and think about the problems that he's going to face it, definitely this road will be much easier for him. Anytime he suffers, he says, I was expecting to have some problem, but I'm going to solve it. I'm going to handle the problem. And it is not a big deal. He will not be disappointed in any circumstances. Why? Because he answered the question for himself, and his question was, why going to university? Why should I go to university? Why I'm going to achieve, for example, why do I need MA or PhD? Marriage is the same. Definitely, if we have a good explanation of the marriage, we will see that in the marriage, sometimes we enjoy a lot, sometimes we suffer. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sorrow. In both situations, we should know that we are in a good road. Before the marriage, we should understand that marriage means having more responsibility. A single boy or girl have much, much less responsibility when they are single. It is not for a man, for a boy, for example, to spend money for somebody else, to work for somebody else. And it is not necessary for a girl to answer a boy, where did I go, where I was, where I'm going, when I'm coming, or to leave the parents and go and live with somebody else. Sometimes you have to leave your city, your country, because of your husband. What is the reason behind that? If you don't marry, you don't have such a responsibility. They are the questions that we should ask ourselves before the marriage. If we answer these questions properly, then we marry, and we will have a wonderful marriage, because really we know what we are going to do and what we are going to achieve. Now, we will understand that if we want to do something, even a small steps in our life, we should have reason for that, and we should have tools and accommodate ourselves for having something extra in our life. If we want to go to mountain, for example, we should know which mountain I'm going, the weather is good or not. Do we have tool for going to the mountain or not? If something happen, is there anybody to help us? Do we have something to eat or drink? They are the issues that definitely we should think about it when we want to go to the mountain. If we don't answer this question properly, or we don't ask ourselves, we ignore and we go to the mountain, how much do you think that we are at risk? That we become tired, or something happen, and there will be nobody to help us. And it is our fault. This is a small issue for going to the mountain maybe for 5 hours, 6 hours, one day. But the marriage is one issue in our life, or once in our life. If we have a wonderful marriage and a successful marriage, yes, once in a life. So it is better to think, what is the necessity of the marriage and why I am going to marry. When I have good motivation for the marriage, anything happen in the marriage, I am ready for that. If my husband becomes sick, my wife becomes sick, my children become sick, anything happen. I have money or I'm in bankruptcy. Still, that's okay. Why? Because my goal is very, very important goal. And my motivation and reason for the marriage is a very, very wonderful motivation. Because I want to achieve that, I'm ready to work for that. If you know, for example, if you go to this company and work 8 hours a day, at the end of the month, you will get, for example, $7,000. Of course, $7,000. You are ready to work a lot. And enjoy. Although sometimes maybe your manager, your boss will shout at you, or sometimes having some problems and no vacation, still you love your job. Why? Because of $7,000. But if they give you, for example, $1,000 in a month, the first day if you face some problem, you leave your job. Why? Because you say it doesn't worth it. So if the goal and your motivation is $7,000, you handle the problem and you will be very patient, and even if you face problem, still you enjoy. For the marriage is the same. Sisters, brothers, when you want to marry, you must convince yourself that what are you going to achieve from your marriage. If a person goes, I'm going to this university, because the university is so big, do you think he can go for bachelor or master degree? No. Because after a few days, it becomes a normal size for him. I'm going to this company because of transportation. You know, it is easy for me going and coming. This is temporary. If something happened to the transportation, he stops going to the company. Because his reason was not permanent. It was temporary. Sometimes our goals or motivations for the marriage are really temporary. They are not permanent. We should have wonderful reasons for our marriage. If we have it, and we answer our questions very well, then we will have a good marriage, and we handle the problem to achieve our goal. From now on, I would like to mention some motivations, some reasons for the marriage. I divided to two sessions. One, positive motivations, and second, negative motivations. It means sometimes we have positive reasons for the marriage. The reason